God bless all my brothers and sisters. It's another beautiful night to worship the Lord in the beauty of His holiness. Let me put this caption up here. Amen. Okay. So you see, the title today is talking about how false Christians are worldly, right? And you gotta understand that these teachings mean a lot, because a lot of people, look at false Christianity in a bad light. A lot of people they're discouraged because of what they see in false Christianity. And a lot of people don't understand the difference. So you got to ask yourself, just say there was an actual job, right? That was a really good job. Okay. And you got people that's misrepresenting that job. You got people that's discouraging people, and the job can, help you financially. It can, help you in many different areas, whether they got a 401k, whatever that stuff that come with those worldly jobs, dental care, health insurance, whatever it is that, has benefits. And you got people that's, deliberately, misrepresenting it, representing it a different way, so it discourages people from having their opportunity. It'll take away that privilege, that people can have, because word travels, when people can speak and say rumors or say negative things. You done have celebrities that spoke against restaurants and spoke against a lot of things that they didn't want people to eat at because they said they was racist, or they're not good people, that this or that. So you have to defend the word of God as a true Christian, because you don't want people to be discouraged from coming to Christianity. You don't want them to be troubled. You don't want their heart to be hardened. The Bible even talks about fathers not provoking their children to anger, their sons to anger, unless they be discouraged. The Bible tells you that. The Bible talks about not offending children. Says best you tie a noose around your neck, throw it into the sea. So Paul talked about not offending his brother and stuff like that. So that you have to be careful when you're dealing with people, especially those people that's in the world. You got to really be conscious of what you're doing, and that's why the Bible said always have a good report of those who are without, right? So the Bible is telling you that, you should have a good report amongst unbelievers, because how else would they come? If you have a bad report, what will bring an unbeliever? Remember, this is a life that, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. This is real. Like, you can claim to be anything in this world, right? And it's no threat to Satan unless it's Christianity, true Christianity. So you got to think false Christianity is not true Christianity. Them wearing those suits to church, that's not biblical. Women wearing dresses and heels, like they look like the rest of the world. Be yourself. A Christian is a whole new breed of people. It says they're a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a chosen generation, a peculiar people. That's what the Bible says that, Christianity is. So it's not supposed to look like the rest of the world. It's not even taught to be like the rest of the world. Nothing in Christianity makes you look, talk, or even act like the rest of the world. Read the Bible for yourself. There's nothing in there that makes you look like the rest of the world, talk like the rest of the world, act like the rest of the world. It's different. The Bible said, come from among them and be you separate. Touch not the unclean thing, and I'll receive you, said the Lord. The Bible tells you that clearly. It tells you, he said, be unequal with unbelievers. He said, what fellowship, right? Righteousness, with unrighteousness, light with darkness, believer with an unfidel. So how should it even look similar to a car salesman Why should these women look similar to women that's working 9 to 5s in corporate America? Why should they look similar when the Bible says Pacific, that, you know, he called us out of the world. You know, he says be not conformed to the world. So that means a Christian's supposed to look like something that's never been seen before. They supposed to talk different, act different, walk different. You know, everything's supposed to be the opposite of what you see in this world. Everything as a Christian. Read the word. What does the Bible say? We're supposed to dress like this, talk like this, act like this. Where does the Bible say supposed to act like that in the world? The Bible even tells you to think different in the world. It say think on things that are lovely, things that are just. You ain't seeing that on no talk shows. You ain't seeing that on no podcasts. You can't look at none of these podcasts and none of these talk shows and see people thinking on things that are lovely, things that are just. You don't see nobody walking around loving their neighbors. You don't see nobody loving their enemies. You don't see nobody, you know, doing good to them that hate them, blessing them that blessing them that persecute them, you know, praying for them, despite for use you and persecute you. You know, you don't see those things. You don't see nobody praying for you, which is despite for use and persecute you. You don't see that. You don't see nobody getting hit and not hitting back. You got boxing, you got UFC, you got all these violent sports. You don't see nobody being non-violent like that. They got gun ranges. You can have gun license. You can learn karate. You got jiu-jitsu. You got judo. You got, you know, Wing Chun. You got karate, taekwondo. Come on, man. You got kickboxing. You got boxing. You got cage fighting. I mean, the world loves violence. You know, the Bible said to abstain from all appearance of evil. You got video games, you got movies, you got TV shows. You know, the Bible tells you to walk circumspectly. You got all these folks taking out loans for businesses. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to get loans for all this. Where do you see the world living like the Bible? I'll wait. I'm giving you scripture. See, these teachings ain't about what I think and I feel. That's why nobody can ever come up here and say what I'm saying is not biblical. I just gave you about 20 scriptures. Listen what I'm saying. If you saying that you a Christian, you ain't supposed to look like the rest of the world. When we say in the world, we talking about how they act and how they behave. I ain't talking about you wearing no Jordans, no Air Force Ones, no Nike. I ain't talking about that. Clothes is clothes. But I'm saying when you can't go to the store and buy some regular Nikes. Let me spin this around because it's a little loose. Hold on real quick. It tightens up as you spin it. Okay? I wasn't trying to be funny doing that. Nope, I'm saying, if you saying you can't go to the mall because you want some Balenciagas, or you gotta have them Louis, you gotta have that Gucci, you gotta have a Rolex. That's what we're talking about. We ain't saying because you wearing a watch. It tell you the time. We ain't saying because you got no iPhone. But when you got to go and get the Pro, because everybody say the Pro is the best. If you got the Pro, you got the Pro. I'm saying your mind frame. Being a believer is about your mind frame. Okay? Jesus wore clothes. He wore sandals. He ate food. They went and bought food. So we not trying to put it out there like that, brothers and sisters. Come on now. You got to live in this world. The Bible tells you that. But you don't have to be a part of it. That's the difference. So we're not talking about you wearing no Nike, but you can't worship that Nike. I gotta have Nike. Everything in my wardrobe. I don't wear nothing else. This is the best. And then when you wear it, you feel like, you know, reputation. Like ask the celebrities why they wear jewelry. They wear gold. Because it makes them feel they're set apart. They wear $100,000 worth of jewelry. Why? Because you can't afford it. And it makes them feel good. It makes them feel good because you can't afford it. You can't buy it. So it makes them stand out. It makes them feel, you know, better than people. It puts them at a different level. Why people drive expensive cars and they could drive better cars? Because it makes them feel better than you. It makes them feel they're on a different level than you. You can't afford it. So it makes them feel they're at a different level. They're set apart. That's the reality. Okay? So when I'm telling you about being a Christian ain't supposed to look like no one in this world. I'm talking about attributes. Okay, let me stop saying look, right? Because they're going to, Somebody gonna have something to say about that, right? But that's facts though. But let me just use it like this. A Christian personality attributes is not supposed to mimic the rest of the world. You shouldn't be wearing those suits to church because the Bible didn't tell you to wear no suits. Okay? Your church shouldn't look like another building that's in this world that looks like a place that's supposed to look like a church. What instruction do we have look like a church? A church could be an empty building. Why you got it all dressed up? God don't care about that. Y'all folks paying all that money to put all that stuff in that church and y'all dying and going to hell. Y'all doing all that and God power ain't there. You got it all dressed up and looking nice as you feel. Ain't no power there. The only thing that sound loud, only thing that's going on is your voice bouncing off the walls with all them speakers hanging around in your church. God don't care about that. Them folks was getting delivered and getting saved in the sand, in the dirt. The river of Jordan. They don't care about that. Who gave them instructions to make these buildings look like this? Just put a building there and put some chairs there. That's it. That church is, y'all worshiping it. It's idolizing it. You acting like the Pharisees. Go look at the Pharisees and Jews and look how the synagogues look. Go to Jerusalem and Israel and look at the synagogues. Y'all got the same buildings like the Jews have right now in different countries. Look at the Muslims, the mosques. Look at those places. Go to New Mecca and look at Mecca and look at those buildings the Muslims be in. They all dressed up and decorated. Show me in the Bible as a Christian where a church supposed to be decorated like that. That's worldly. Think about it. God don't care about that. He don't care about none of that stuff. That's why he don't talk about money, because money won't get you into heaven. It don't matter how much money you give in the church plate. What does that mean? People give money to the lottery. People give money to strippers. People give money to prostitutes. It ain't nothing. Money don't mean nothing to God. It's your heart. That's what God is after. That's the only thing that God will invest in is your heart. You can't do nothing else without your heart being in the right place. It's about your heart. Okay, he say he sees the heart. So why do pastors, Christians, these so-called Christians wear suits on Sunday? You look like a detective, a car salesman, and corporate and white America. White collar America. Blue collar America. That's what I meant to say. Not white America. White collar, blue collar America. Because it makes you look sophisticated, professional. Ain't nobody told you to do that. That's why they got so much pride. That's why they be so, animated and so extra. Because they invest in so much into their dresses, their suits, their buildings. That's why they so crazy about it. Who wouldn't be? Them folks done took out $100,000 loan to get that building. God ain't got nothing to do with that. Them folks is begging you every Sunday for tithes and offerings. God ain't got nothing to do with that. That's not biblical. They dress it in their Sunday best. God ain't got nothing to do with that. You see why them folks is crazy about their false God. They'll beat you up about it. That's how real it is. You understand? That's why they be flipping out like that. You don't be seeing these pastors when they be preaching. They be going off. Veins showing out their neck, vein in their forehead. They be going off. Them people put a whole bunch of stuff into what they doing. That's why they so far in and they can't change, because they invested so much physical strength and God wasn't involved. So it's personal to them. When God give you something, when God does something, he ain't control of it. You didn't put nothing into it. You didn't invest in nothing. You didn't have to beg the loan company, beg the credit union to get the building. So it means everything. You're going to be begging every Sunday for them tithes and offerings, because money ain't just coming like that. You got to work for it. You got to beg for it. Okay? So you're going to be begging, hey, look, tithes and offerings, you got to put that, it's offering time. They're going to be watching everybody. I knew one false pastor who would call offering time, and he'll have the money come in while he's still preaching, and they'll give him the deacons will go in the little office and I guess count it up and slip him a little piece of paper while he's still preaching. I seen it, man. It's a church in Georgia, right? I seen it. And he'll look at the piece of paper. This is all before I even got delivered, got the Spirit, whatever. I seen this because someone that I knew invited me there, right? So I seen him look at the paper. He false preached for a few minutes. Then he was like, God is telling me that, $20. Y'all dig in y'all pocketbook. He trying to get you to pay his bills. He trying to get you to pay his bills. I'm telling you. But y'all don't want to hear that, though. They don't want to hear it, but I say it, though. But I ain't going to spend much time on it. But I say it, though. Y'all don't want to hear it. I seen it with my own eyes. You know? They all do it. They know how many people are in their churches. But all I'm saying is this. The Bible say, be ye separate, from the world. It say, be not conformed. The world started wearing suits first. The world did that. The world started wearing heels and dresses. I'm talking about how they dress, though. They don't look no different. I'm not saying wearing no dress is wrong. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people are going to church dressing that way. But most men don't wear no suit throughout the whole week. Like, how are you committing all these sins throughout the week? And then you dress up in this professional manner and acting like that makes a difference when you go inside this building. But you've been acting bad all week, falling short, as you say. You ain't had no dress. God sees everything. So why now is it important because you inside of a building? That's delusion. That's delusion. Now you dressed up because you in the building. Now you want to look presentable and you want to look your best for God. Y'all be walking around without your hair done. Y'all be walking around with dirty nails, plaque on your teeth, stains on your clothes, shoes dirty. Why ain't looking your best for God throughout the week? The Bible say uncleanness is a sin. You're supposed to be brushing your teeth, flossing, washing your hair, putting on lotion, taking care of yourself. The Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The Bible say present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is your reasonable service. You're supposed to take care of yourself. Why only on Sunday you getting dressed and getting a haircut to go to church? You getting a haircut to go to church. We're supposed to be representing God every day of your life. But you put on that costume for Sunday like it's a Halloween party and then take it off when you get back home. Come on, man. Everybody grab their Bible out the closet, blow the dust off of it, and they take it on to church. Bible be sitting in the dashboard, just sitting there, like it's a weapon, like it's a protective, device, superstition. Got their Bible just on the dashboard, getting sunbaked. You know what I'm saying? Come on, brothers and sisters. People got to get a grip, man. I'm telling you, it's real. So that's the point that I'm trying to make to you. Why do the false Christians look like the rest of the world, though? They drive the same cars. They got the same ambition. They got the same desires. They want to live in the same houses, same communities, same mansions, same expensive cars. Got the same ambition to be famous or popular. John talked about that. When you read John, right? And you read John, the last one, he talked about celebrity status and fame and all that stuff. That brother was rebuked because of that. So all I'm trying to say is I'm just here to defend Christianity. Because you never know, somebody really might want to come. And because of what they seen, they might get discouraged. I done heard it too many times. Y'all not in the streets like that. To really hear what people are saying and what's really going on. They be like, man, all they want is money. All it is money, money. Like, how does an unbeliever feel that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, they seeing that stuff. People don't see it, though, because they're not out there in the streets dealing with these people who feel this type of way. But I am. So I know that they don't like it. And then so many people that claim to be Christians have hurt people because they're worldly still, just hiding behind the name. It's like a person working for a company. The CEO got a whole different ambition. The CEO got a whole different vision. You just part of the company. You can misrepresent it. You can. You ain't the boss. You just working there. So you can somebody can come to your job. Why do you, let me ask you a question. If representation is not important, how come when y'all go to Chick-fil-A, they make everybody be nice? You ever been to Chick-fil-A and the people wasn't that nice? Notice I said Chick-fil-A for a reason. That's part of their training. Have you ever been to a Chick-fil-A and didn't see people greet you and be nice? Okay? Why do they say the customer's always right? Because they don't want to lose your business. Huh? Why they say that in the world? Why is there policies where you can't argue with customers? You can't fight them. Why is it policies? Why do they got security when someone steals? Because they don't want you to get involved. The security guard is a form of authority. Okay? Protective measure. They don't want their employees to misrepresent themselves. Security is supposed to be a trained professional. A police officer is supposed to be a trained professional to deal with hostile situations. They don't want you to, because you're not trained like the security guards or police officers, because they don't want to give the company a bad name. Show me when you ever go in Walmart. I ain't talking about the ones in the hood and stuff like that. I'm talking about when you go to most stores, okay? Them people are cleaning up. You don't never just see trash like that. You don't never just see this and that going on. They stocking stuff. Everything is where you can find it. It's in DC and it's in order. So why do you think that these companies care so much about how the company is presented and how it's represented? Because it can discourage you from coming there. Right? If the employees were allowed to just be ghetto and curse and yell at you and, you know, be gossiping in front of you and joking on you and, you know, horse playing and, you know, doing all this stuff. If they was allowed to do all that stuff, that can discourage people from coming there. Because they'll say, man, when I go there, they joking on me. They're being mean. They're telling lies. They gossip. You know, they're hitting me. They're stealing my stuff. They're doing all this stuff. You would not go back there. And you will cross out every store that has that name, right? That's right. You won't go no more Walmarts. Walmart is ghetto. I'm not going there. Girl, what happened? I went there and one of the workers started talking about me, yelling at me. You know, she swung on me. I don't deal with Walmart. I'm going to Publix. Then they go online and be like, Walmart is a racist place. Walmart is a racist store. Next thing you know, it starts spreading because many people have had some of the same encounters but never spoke up about it. You see? So we got to defend it. That's why we're telling people, like, no, you know, this is what Christianity looks like. Hey, if you want to come, here. If you don't, but at least you know that they misrepresented God. Okay? They're not true Christians. We got to let them know that, because people can't look at God in a bad light. Okay? I'm here to defend him. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. So that's the reality. So why do the false Christians look like the rest of the world? Who told them to wear suits? They do what they want. Why not dress like you dress? Christianity is not about how you look. It's not about the way you dress. It's your heart. Christianity lies in the heart. It's in the heart. Right? It's in the heart. It say love God with all your mind, your heart, your soul, and your strength. How can he? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Think about this. I want y'all to think about this. If they say that, you know, they're Christians and they're always going to make mistakes, though, right? But how are they making those mistakes when they got all these rules and commands and instructions and examples to make it to where they don't make those mistakes? What if they just obeyed some of those scriptures? Wouldn't their life and people's life be a whole different? Wouldn't it be a different reaction? Wouldn't it be a different a different person that people are around? Think about it. If they just tried to just forgive people, if they just tried to, you know, not be angry, if they just, I'm telling you, if they just did it, not try like it's something that's preventing them from doing it, but they just did it. If they just went 1 week with obeying what the Bible says, you know, not lusting, not getting angry, not getting frustrated, not being impatient, not being lazy, not moving in pride, you know, gluttony. If they just did it for 1 week, they will see how much their life, you know, would truly change and how much others around them would be affected and would be drawn in and want to live for God. If they just did what the Bible say. But remember, they don't want to live for God. So that's why we make these videos. So just think about what I'm saying. If they just did, what is hard about having instructions and obeying it? You have instructions everywhere else in your life. Your job, driving, you all have instructions. Break those laws and see where they'll put you at. So it takes the same effort to obey the laws. It don't matter how law-abiding you are. How lawless you are. You break the laws, they're going to put you somewhere. You break those rules, they're going to put you somewhere. Okay? So the same way you obey these laws and rules, it takes the same effort to obey God's word. It's nothing different. If you can't be angry at your job and you can't fight with customers, and the Bible say don't be angry, put away wrath and malice and strife. If the Bible says, to love your neighbor, it's the same effort. How many people have you cursed out your job? How many times you told your boss off? Why you didn't tell your boss off? And he's sitting here, your boss might be a little mean or might be a little grumpy or whatever. Why you always held your tongue? Why? Why have you always held your tongue and not told your boss off? But you'll curse your husband out. Or if you don't curse as a false Christian, you'll yell and you'll go back and forth, but you never argued at work. You see? So how do you control yourself at home? How do you control yourself at your job, in a courtroom, in public, but behind closed door where nobody could see you and your husband arguing, or boyfriend or fiance arguing, or you getting mad at your kids? How come you do it? How come at your job you got patience? How come at your daycare you got patience with people's kids? But your kids, you ready to whoop them and beat them and do everything to them? How come other people's kids, you're so sweet, you're so nice. Why can't that be for your children 24/7? Okay? Why are you nice to your co-workers, men and women? Why are you nice to strangers? Come up and just talk with you. You know why? Because they haven't done anything to you to make you have resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness. There ain't no track record of them getting on your nerves. There ain't no track record of them, having arguments back and forth. That's why a lot of folks treat strangers real nicely and stranger kids real nicely. Right? Because there's no track record of them getting on your nerves or making you mad. Right? And you got resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness built up in your heart towards them. You ain't never see them couples that always be looking like they just tired of each other, but they stay together for 20 years. You see that? Because of track records. It all building up. You'll see couples, it be them old couples like 60, 70 years old. And they just be like, hey, your food is here. Well, thank you. I would like I would like some salt and pepper. Get it yourself, Willie. That's all right. I'm going to find me a young woman. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm trying to explain to you? That's how they be. That's how they be. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is that why do people, they have so much bitterness and so much resentment that it creates them to act like that to each other because they're around each other. Both got spirits, both got demons in them. So demons are always putting something in their mind, but demon can't force them to leave each other. Demon can't force them to divorce. Demon can't force them to go and fornicate. But the demons will be giving them dreams. It'll be giving them thoughts. They'll be sitting there. And the demon will be like this. Let me just show you something the demon be doing. This is kind of a little bit, I'm going a different direction. I'm going to show you something real quick, what demons can do. Say you got two people that's married or in a relationship, and both of them got spirits in them. The person could be talking to them and saying, I want to talk to you about something. They're like, okay. And then while the person is talking about something, it's not even in relations to anything that happened 3 years ago. It's not. So the person's talking like, yeah, a lot of times I just want to talk, and it's just sometimes I'm talking to you, you just, the things that you might say and the things that you might do. Then the whole time the spirit in the woman or the man is saying, yeah, that time he called you that name 3 years ago, he really want to say it now, but he just beating around the bush. He trying to act like he don't feel that way, but he really trying to tell you that he's tired of you when he told you 3 years ago when he called you fat. You remember that? Well, that's they're not gonna say you remember that, but that's how it's gonna come in your mind as a thought. So he gonna be talking, then you gonna respond. You gonna cut him off, or you gonna cut her off, and then she's gonna be like, you always saying something that's negative. You always coming at me, and the person's like, I didn't say anything negative. I was just telling you how I felt, because now they having the thoughts come in, and they're believing the thoughts because they don't know how to cast down imaginations. They don't know the devil's voice because it comes as a thought. It's not always coming as a voice like how I'm talking. Sometimes it just comes as a thought. Like you might have a thought, right? Like for instance, say your living room is dirty. Okay? Your living room is dirty. Every thought that Satan gives you is not always something that you can catch. I'm talking about when you guys are in the world and have demons in you. You can't, it's not meant to be caught. So y'all don't understand the devil. Where the Bible said that he's going to come and tell you things that are so wicked and so evil. Where's the Bible say that at? Where's the Bible say that he comes? It say he comes as an angel of light. Listen, forget what you don't know about the Bible. Let's talk about what we really seen in the Bible. Multiple times Satan came, right? Presented himself. Let's look at how he came, because the Bible say that, you know, in Ecclesiastes, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, right? So what I'm saying to you is that when Satan came to Eve, how did he come? Was he aggressive? Was he mean? Was he upset? Was he violent? No. He came like a normal person. Okay? And he was talking. Right? Did God say? Genesis 3. You see? That's how he always comes. Because your conscience will know. If he come and say, hey, this is me, the devil. I want you to think about masturbating right now. It's going to feel so good. You're going to sin against God. You love that, don't you? No, you wouldn't do it then. Come on, man. Hey, you want to rob that bank? This is the devil telling you to do it. Rob that bank. It's going to be a security guard there who got a gun. He going to shoot you. You going to die and go to hell because you dying in sin. And you ain't been born of the water or the spirit. You going to die and go to hell. Okay, so go and rob that person. You can get shot. I'm waiting for you so I can torment you and torture you when you get here. He ain't telling you that. The thought is coming in. You'll get away. You know, think about it. Get there. You got 30 seconds. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't know the difference. That's why the Bible say cast down imaginations and every high thing. Why would you be imagining stuff that you never imagined before? Okay, think about this. If you leave your house right now, right? You leave your house. You drive in your car. Okay? You locked everything up. Right? You did. But you get down the street and you get this thought in your mind. The doors is unlocked. Wait, you forgot to lock them. Wait, I forgot to lock them. Wait, I left the door unlocked. Somebody's going to be in my house when I get there. And they're going to try to attack me and rape me or molest me. Whatever. You know, that's the thought you get. Who's that coming from? You locked the doors. Why would you have a thought like that? That don't make any sense. You're thinking that? Okay. So you're crazy, right? So you're crazy. So you accept the fact that you're insane. Well, you don't need to have no kids. Don't get married. Because that means if you're saying you're crazy, you'll kill somebody. You'll hurt somebody or do something dangerous because you can't control yourself. You're saying you're having thoughts that you're creating, saying that. But don't it feel like your thoughts? Now you get back home. What you doing? You looking all around, you know, saying, okay, maybe they locked. Maybe, no, the door is locked. Okay, I came back home. I'm late now. The door is locked, but maybe it was unlocked and somebody's in there and they locked it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I'm telling you, he does not come aggressively and like how you would think he would come. He comes like it's not him. That's why the Bible said angel of light. Come on. And you see how he came to Eve. You see how he came to Eve. Even when he came to God in Job, it was the same way. He never came like, hey, I'm the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, people conscious will catch that. Come on, man. If a scam, what do you think scammers get it from? The Bible said the spirit that now working in disobedience. The spirit. When you see the world around you today, that's the devil in them. Demons. The Bible says it. The whole world lies in wickedness. Who was the originator of wickedness? The devil. Who was his demons in? When the guy was in the tombs that had 2,000 demons in him, what was he doing to himself? Cutting himself. What do people do today when they hurt themselves? They cut themselves. What was the guy in the tombs doing? Acting crazy, yelling, screaming. You know, can't be, held down with chains and nothing like that. He was breaking them. He was just wild. Okay, what do you see today? You don't see the same resemblance? So in Sodom and Gomorrah, when they was lusting and fornicating, and God destroyed it because of darkness, because of demons, because of Satan, what do you see today? The same Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, the same lust, the same homosexuality, the same fornication. Also, that's abomination. Same adultery. It's the same stuff that the devil did. Okay, he taught people how to sin. And he showed them what it looked like and what it felt like to disobey God. And a lot of people liked it. Eve liked it. Okay? Hey, Eve, you ain't God listen to God. Oh, I don't? Nah. Here we go. That's where we at today. You see that? The first sin ever committed was disobedience. The Bible said the spirit that now work in the children of disobedience. Come on, you're not putting two and two together. Satan never comes as this aggressive, mean, and evil person because your conscience will spot that. No one on this earth really comes that way for real. No scam artist is coming to you. Hey, guess what? I'm a scammer. I'm here to get your credit card number. I need your social. I need your birthday. I need your first, middle, and last name. Why? Because I'm going to scam you. I'm going to do you bad. I'm going to order stuff off of Amazon Prime. I'm going to get cell phones. I'm going to take all that money to saving account. You'll be like, no, I'm not giving it to you. So no one even acts that way. And they have the spirit because the conscience knows better. Come on, man. If someone come and tell you I'm about to rob you, you don't be all friendly. If a man come and say, hey, I'm only here to have sex with you. But when he come, what the man say? You are the best thing ever. You mean everything to me. You are since I first laid eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they going to tell you. Ain't nobody ever, even the mechanics at the mechanic shops. Yeah, we're going to try to get as much as we can. We're going to try to find something we think need to be fixed. They ain't telling you that. You like, hey, I need this work done on my car. You go there, they done found 10 different things. Oh, you got to get this fixed. They trying to get paid. They trying to stay in business. Come on, man. Y'all don't understand. The Bible tells you the spirit that works with disobedience, the devil. It said that they that sin is a child of the devil because they got his seed in them, the spirit, the demons. Okay? That's the point. I was a child of the devil. Now I'm a child of God. Those spirits was casted out. Now I got the spirit of God. So I'm a child of God now. The Bible says you don't have spirit, none of his. Okay? So that's the point that I'm trying to make to you. So when you look around the world today, you're seeing the nature of the devil. It's just being controlled by God's grace and his power. Don't let certain things get too far. Some things he don't stop. And some things he will. But if he didn't stop everything, it'll be murders every day. You ever seen that movie, The Purge? I don't recommend you watching it now. I'm talking about when I was in the world now. Okay, this is all past tense stuff. I'm not watching no movies, none of that stuff now. When I was in the world, I seen that movie called The Purge. Okay? That's what life would be like if it wasn't God's grace. But the more and more the grace starts to fade, you're going to start seeing more and more violent attacks and different things happening. Right? You're going to start seeing the weather being unstable. You're going to start seeing the climate changing. You're going to start seeing people, less able to function together. You're going to start seeing the government having problems functioning together. You're going to start seeing people not able to, agree. You're going to see people more anxious, more lazy, more impatient. They're going to invent more things. They're going to come out with dating sites and everything that's going to promote you. You're going to start seeing celebrities becoming more nectar, wearing less clothes. Because the more the grace fades, the more darkness is going to be embraced. That's what's in everybody anyway. It's only God's power and the conscience that's been suppressing certain levels of darkness. So as the grace starts to fade and we get closer to the end times, you're going to start seeing more and more things that was never accepted and never allowed to be. Okay? You see people before, they didn't play with homosexuality like that. You couldn't even be married as a homosexual. Now they embrace it. They allow it. The LGBTQ community, all this stuff, they protect it now. That stuff never been allowed before. But as long as the grace fades, the stuff that's been looked at in a bad light, even amongst people in the world, they're gonna start being like, oh, it's no big deal. It's okay. They was born that way. You wasn't born homosexual. That doesn't. You have no. What's the benefit of being born homosexual? You can't reproduce. Okay. Women and women can't make kids. Men and men can't make kids. So the world will never evolve. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's a demon. So that's the reality. They can feel how they want to feel. The truth is the truth. Okay, it don't even make sense. But God can help them though. If they want to come out of that place. But if they embrace that place, they'll never come out of it. They gotta want to be delivered from homosexuality. Just like anything else. Gluttony. I'm not just talking about them. I'm saying everything. Everything you see in the world today is demons behind it. Behind every ungodly act, there's a demon behind it. People like demons. Demons help them not be insecure. Demon tell a heavyset person they're not heavyset. Demon tell a person with acne, all they gotta do is wear makeup. Demon tell a person, oh, your hair is, put this weave on. They like demons. Demons create false realities. They was built in darkness. They was created in darkness. Demons came from Satan, not God. They're not angels. They're demons. They're their own creation. They're just wicked little things that walk around, learn how to function inside of people. They get trained and get taught. So when they go inside of people, they merge with you and you merge with them. And the grace over everybody's life keeps certain things at bay unless God removes it. So some folks will go crazy, they'll go mad. Some folks will crash out. Some folks will kill themselves. They'll kill people. They'll jump off of cliffs. They'll do all them type of stuff. It depends what God allows. Okay? Because everybody is on their way to hell. Everybody has that time who don't have the spirit. Everybody that's living in sin, hell is your destination. Okay? Everyone that's possessed, hell is your destination. That's where you go. So it depends. If a person turns to God truthfully, then God will rescue them. If they don't, it's a matter of time. The clock is ticking. And you might go crazy. You might get more health issues. You might start having more attacks. You might start having more problems with your kids, with your loved ones, your family members, anything. Just depends what God chooses, because it's punishment for not serving him and not living for him. So he's going to punish you. That's why it always seems like things were always good at one point in time in your life, but then things start getting better and you never get back to that place. You never could run the same. Eyesight don't never get better. Breathing don't never get better. Heart condition never get better. It's like you never can get back to where you was at, because that grace done faded because you failed to choose and serve God. And now your life, what's happening is the power over your life is starting to fade. That's why you start noticing you have more problems, more aches in your body, more sicknesses, hearing issues, breathing issues, stomach issues, because the power over your life is starting to fade. And it could take 10 years, 20 years, it could take 5, it could take 1 year. And however God allows it to happen, he's not going to stop it. So it could be a car accident, it could be whatever. Okay? And then your life, you go on and you go to hell. And they're going to torture you and torment you the same way you were on this earth, but worse. But see, God's power was keeping it from going too far. When you go to hell, nothing is stopping the demons. It's their imagination. They're going to do whatever they want to do to you. That's how real it is. You understand? So that's why we up here preaching these things, trying to save these people, okay, from having to go through that, because we know what God's going to do. We know what the devil's going to do. Okay? So Paul said, we're not angry with his devices. Them demons, they sound like your thoughts. They're not going to, if they reveal themselves some kind of way, and you hear them talking to you and stuff like that, or you hear voices, okay, yeah, that's them as well. But they also don't always do that as well. It just depends on the person. Some people ain't going for that. So they be like, hey, I need God. Wait, I'm hearing stuff. I'm losing my mind. Some folks will hear that and don't be moved by that. So it depends on the person's heart. Some people, they'll hear voices and they'll see things, because the demon is that bold and like they don't care anyway. Some people think they have the Holy Spirit seeing demons and seeing demonic stuff. So it just depends on that person's heart, how far the insanity is. Okay? Some people, they'll never let them hear a voice or see something, because that person, they know that person's heart might turn them to go live for God. So they know what they do. They're strategic in what they do. They know the hearts of men. Satan been around before we all was born. Satan was around before the world was created. Okay? He was around before God made man. He seen man be created. Okay? He seen what God put inside of men and women. He know love. He know the feeling that people have. He know tiredness. That's why he created laziness, right? He knows how people can become prideful. He see the muscles that God gave people. He see the attributes. He see the breasts, the bottoms. He see the attributes, the different shapes that women have. So he know that if people are not obeying God's word, they'll be driven by lust. Those things will be idolized. Big butts. You see what I'm trying to say? Everything. He uses everything that you see created, to his advantage, because people don't obey God. When you don't obey God, all these things could be used to become idolized. Food, clothing, people, everything that God created could be used to worship the devil, or be used to sin if you don't obey God's word. Okay? Because you be such an advanced creation, you can think, you got choices, you got ideas, you got all this stuff that you can do. So your mind can think further than just going, walking a straight line. You know what I'm saying? Your whole creation. They got a mind that can build stuff, can climb, can run, could learn how to swim, could learn how to sing. I mean, all different type of stuff your mind can do. So if you let your mind venture off to do what God don't say to do, it's going to create nothing but evil. Because anything outside of God's design or his word is only evil. Because you wasn't designed to think or move or act on your own. That's why they create pornography. They create sex dolls, blow-up dolls. They got vibrators, dildos, all this stuff for women and for men. They create all this stuff because it's in darkness. Just the world is in darkness, so it's accepted. We don't see it. I see it, but I'm saying people don't see it as darkness unless it's like mass shootings, unless it's like bombs, unless it's like, like stuff like that. That's what people consider to be real bad because they won't do that stuff. But the same folks that might have seen a mass shooting might be the same people saying that's bad, that should never happen. But then what the person who do a mass shooting, they might have been agreeing with it one day saying that it shouldn't have been that way. But then they did it. You see what I'm trying to say? It just all depends what God allows. If God don't stop them demons from destroying you, you might be the next person on the news or on TV, shot by police or shooting at police or, whatever, died in a car accident, died from COVID. If God chooses to not stop it because you've been bad and disobedient, we might be reading about you in the newspaper. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you got to have God. The reason why the world don't fear God today, because they wasn't taught. Let me ask you a question. Would y'all go swim with a shark? Would you go swim with a great white shark? I'm talking about y'all that's up here right now. Would y'all go swim with a shark? You ain't got to answer. I'm going to answer for you. Listen to me. Would y'all go swim with a shark? Okay? No, of course not, right? Why? Because you've been told that sharks are dangerous. They got all them teeth, razor sharp teeth, and they'll kill you, right? Why you? Because you've been taught that, you fear them, right? You know why folks don't fear God? Because these false Christians taught you that God was this genie and the bottle. You could rub the bottle and make these wishes, and he's going to always, the Bible talk. Y'all don't, see, they're not telling you these stories. When you look at him, where he killed families and children suckling on their mother's breasts, opened up the ground and swallowed whole tribes, okay? Sent the angel that killed 70,000 people because of David's sins. What God y'all talking about? You look around today, look on Google, look at statistics, how many people die. Look at what's the most leading cause of death in the world. Look at it. Heart disease, cardiac arrest, diseases, cancer. It's like 1,000 cancers out here. Where's God at? Y'all don't see? He said the whole world lies in wickedness. Y'all ain't putting 2 and 2 together. All right, let me say it again. Let me speed y'all up real quick. Bring y'all up to speed. Okay? The Bible says that the light came into the world. Men love darkness rather than the light. But listen, before Jesus Christ came to this earth, right? Before he came, what was going on in the world? Blind, deaf, sicknesses, torment, attacks, everything, right? That's right. So you see how the world looked without people living for God. And y'all don't see the same thing today. Y'all foolish because they lied to you. They want you to believe. Satan wants you to believe. Y'all don't understand what false Christianity is? False Christianity is nothing but unbelievers and sinners that the devil has appeared to, gave them visions and dreams, encounters, to make them think that there's someone that they're not. That's all false Christianity is. You got liars. You got thieves. You got mean, evil, wicked, crazy people that's trying to be Christian examples for the world to lead you astray. Satan handpicked them. They're crazy. They're insane. They're unstable. They do what they want. They're not disciplined. They're not anything. Okay? They do not obey God's word. Satan used Christianity and built the whole world behind it. I'm telling you. And I'm going to show you what other religions as well. I'm going to read it in a second. How other religions as well is the same as false Christianity. I'm going to explain to you why it's like that. Right? In a second. We'll get there. God's timing is the best. The Holy Spirit does as it wills. But listen to what I'm explaining to you. He took false Christians. These are regular people. God didn't stop him. He gave them dreams, the devil. He appeared to them, put his power in some of them. They can do different things. right? And he built these people up to be false examples of Christians so the world can follow them, because the whole world lies in wickedness. Before Christ came to this world and cast out one demon, what did the Bible say? It said he came to set the captives free. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Jeremy. Listen to what I'm telling you, brother. I don't tell no lies now. I speak the truth to bring glory to God. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen. The Bible said that Satan had that woman bound for how many years? She was bent over. Okay? The Bible said Jesus went around healing everyone who was oppressed by the devil. Okay? You hear that, right? Now, everywhere you looked and everywhere you went, you seen people that was walking around who needed deliverance, who needed help, who needed freedom from the spirits that was attacking them, the demons that was tormenting them, that was affecting them. They needed help, right? Now, why do you think it was like that? We don't have to think. I already told y'all. Because of the demons. What caused sicknesses? The demons. What caused the attacks, the torment, the division, the demons? How come everyone that got prayed for was on one accord? How come everybody was happy and was loving, joyful? Look at the world today. Nobody's doing that. How come when Jesus walked the earth with his power, and the apostles as well, why was the people that got prayed for and delivered, why did they forget about hate? Forget about racism? Why they wasn't sick anymore? No more doctor visits. Okay? No more health insurance. Why? Because they experienced God's power. So what I'm saying to you today, you look around you today, you still see blind, you still see deaf, you still see insanity, lunatics, you still see mental asylums. They just like the guy that was in the tombs, but now they got tranquilizers and drugs and stuff, and they inject you to put you to sleep and put you in straitjackets. But it's the same thing. What's the difference? The only reason why the world is not affected by it because the world embraces it, because the world lives in darkness as well, right? And they're prideful, and they always got a control over it. Now, you look at our world today, it looks exactly the way it looked like before Jesus came and performed all those miracles, casting out all those demons. Said he came to heal those who were oppressed of the devil. You hear that? The devil, not just they're sick because their body was made that way. It was demons. It was Satan. Okay? The Bible said the little boy had convulsions. That's seizures. People have seizures today. What is the difference? People have bad eyesight in the Bible. What is the difference in people having bad eyesight today? What's the difference? People had parsley. They got that today. They had hemorrhoids in the Bible. They got hemorrhoids today. There's nothing different. You understand? But what they taught you through lies. You got these false Christians telling you that they living for God, and they got the same attacks, same sicknesses, same torment that people in the Bible had who wasn't living for God. Explain that. Okay? Explain that. These folks didn't even know Jesus, was living in sin, full of darkness. Show me one Christian that was filled with the Spirit that had to go through deliverance in the New Testament. Show me one Christian that had that had the Holy Ghost, and the Bible said that had a sickness that they were just living with. Because Tabitha died. She didn't have the Holy Spirit. She died and got brought back to life. They weren't even playing with no deaths. Lazarus died and got brought back to life. They wasn't playing with deaths. And nobody was just dropping dead out there like that. You don't see nowhere when they said no Christian was just sick for this who had the Spirit. Okay? They ain't even say there was a Christian or not. They said a brother or a companion or someone. Okay? They said that Tabitha was a disciple. Right? So we don't know to say these people that was going through certain things in the Bible. The Bible never mentioned them as having a spirit and being a believer. A lot of people was a company, you know? So you got to think about that. So all I'm saying today is that the world's in the same state that it was in before Christ came in the Bible. You see the same stuff going on with health, with demons, with attacks and everything. It's the same state that the world was in. You see? So these people are claiming to be Christians without obeying God's word. They're not obeying it. They don't even talk it. They got a system that allows them to defend whatever you're saying. And that's all they use. They'll defend what they believe by trying to use a scripture here and there. But they can never support what they're saying because what they're saying is not biblical. They're just taking something from the Bible. Okay? Because to be biblical, it has to come from the Bible. If it's not biblical, then what are you speaking? So you see what I'm saying? How it's crazy. Like the guy told me that all apostles died, and that was it. When all apostles died, where did he get that from? That's not. You see what I'm saying? If you can make that up and not say that, you see what I'm telling y'all about insanity. Y'all just don't see. See the reason why what I'm saying to you seems so different than what y'all experience in y'all life, because some of y'all do that yourself, and some of y'all are used to that, where folks are lying to you, being deceitful, and you take it as they're being honest because you can't discern. You take it as them being truthful because you can't discern. Some of y'all can't discern that a person is telling you a lie, you know, and not being honest. Some of y'all hear people tell you the same thing over and over and over, and they're lying. But because it makes you feel good, and because you can't discern, you know, you accept it. Like, oh, they're being honest. They're really going to change this time. Why do you think the Bible said God don't hear sinners? Because ain't no sinner going to change, man. No one that's living in sin, right? And they praying, God ain't about to hear them because he know their heart. If you want God to hear you, don't sin. It's that simple. Because there's no person who's living deceitful. Sin is deceitful. Sin is mischiefs. Sin is malice. Sin is wickedness. You cannot be serious when you're living in sin. How? It's your choice. You're doing bad stuff. It's like a thief telling you he's going to be honest and he want to rob somebody tomorrow. It's like somebody telling you they going to stop selling and stop doing drugs, and they about to spark up a blunt, right? They get done talking to you. Someone saying they're going to get done with alcohol and going to drink tomorrow. God not listening to you because he know that you telling lies. See, you could lie to man. I swear, I decree and I declare, this is it for me. I'm not drinking no more liquor. But see, God know your mind. He know your heart. You're going to finish that bottle when you get home. You're just telling yourself. You're deceiving yourself. As the Bible says, you're deceiving yourself. Right? So you believing. Let me tell you why folks believe what they say. Because they saying through delusion. A person will tell you, a person will come really believing they're going to live for God. Really believing that they're going to change because it's being thought through delusion. If they were smart, they would say, I done said this about 30 times and I never changed. But they don't see their life is not based on reality. Their life is based on false reality. Because they're saying the same thing over and over. No change has came. So instead of them sitting down, they really believe what they're saying. It's like them folks believe they really Christians without doing what the Bible say. They go in there every Sunday giving their money to a church. They can't see nobody doing that. They don't see nobody where pay tithes and offerings as a Christian. They wearing suits. They got these church names. They can't produce that. They can't prove that. So you see, it's a false. They believe what they want. I'm going to live for you, God. I'm going to do everything I need to do. Well, why are you saying that now? So what were you doing before that you could do that right now? Finding pleasure in that sin? Think about it. Why do you got to tell God right now, I'm going to live for you and not do this bad stuff anymore? Why you got to keep saying that? What were you doing before? What's stopping you from living for God? When you be real with yourself, you're going to say, man, it's the pleasures. I like sin. I like sin. But I know it's wrong because I know that the Bible says it's wrong. I don't feel that way. I don't want to die and go to hell. I don't want to live with the reality that I really am for the world. Sometimes it's pride that make you not want to accept the reality. Think about it. If you black and you don't want to be black, what's the problem with that? If you white and you don't want to accept that you white, what's the problem? Listen to me. Why can't you be a Christian? Why can't someone not want to live for God? Why? Why when I meet these false Christians, they just, hey, that's what the Bible say? Oh man, I ain't sign up for that. Because pride's in the way and insane's in the way. They too good, they too proud. They can't be a Judas. They can't be a Judas. Why can't Christianity just be for people? Is Islam for you? Is Buddha for you? Is being a vegan for you? Is being vegetarian for you? So many things in the world is not for you. But Christianity can't be for you. See why these folks be walking around the way they are? Because they don't want to accept that reality, that it's not for them. Because they want to live in sin without having to accept the reality they're going to die and go to hell. It's not pleasurable. It don't feel good to go masturbate knowing that, man, he keeping a record of this. The boss, I don't have to answer all my good and my bad. It don't feel that good. It don't feel that good going to fornicate. Because you know, like, hey, I might die. I might have a heart attack on top of this woman. You know, this, you know, it don't feel that good. I know that I choose. You know what false Christianity, they make you believe that, like, you can't control what you're doing, but you control when you do it and when you don't do it. You see how weird it is? Did y'all catch that? I reiterate it. False Christianity make you believe that you're always going to sin and you can't control what you're doing, but you control when you do it and when you do it and how you do it. So if there's no control, then you wouldn't control when you do it or how you do it or where you do it. It'll just happen. You'll be outside walking and just start masturbating, right? Because you know you're always going to fall short. Why is masturbation always in a controlled environment? Why is it always somewhere where you're privately at? If you can't control yourself, why not just do it in public on a park bench? There's many women out there. Think about it. You can't close your eyes and fantasize. You can't put on a porno on your phone, some Pornhub or something on your phone. You know, whatever else some porno sites are. Of course you can. Why is it when you're in the house, though? So you got enough discipline to not pull out your penis or get naked in front of people. You'll go inside your house, go inside the bathroom or go inside your room. You'll put your headphones in. You'll cut on the shower or the sink or whatever, the fan in the bathroom to drown out noise, and you'll be in there. And then after you're done, you'll spray, you know, perfume or air freshener or whatever the case may be. Or you might tell somebody, hey, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go take a bath. But you can go in there and you're going to masturbate and you're going to go in there and watch porn, right? But you live with people. Now, guess what happens? So you go in there, you set up a time. You know how much time you got before people start suspecting you. Hey, what you doing in there, man? It's been a long time. So all that's controlled, though, but you're going to always sin. But you control when you do it and how you do it and where you do it. Come on now. Make it make sense. So you're going to always sin, but you control how you sin, though, right? We're always going to sin, but everybody don't commit the same sins. That's how, you see how weird that sounds? They teach you, I'm telling you, and people accept it because it make them not think about what I'm saying right now. Make people think, man. When them folks hear this right here, they're going to think like that's right. Because, I mean, we always going to sin. Wouldn't I be a child molester? Wouldn't you be a predator? Wouldn't you be a murderer? Wouldn't you be something? Because you're going to always sin. Who chooses what sin you're going to commit? How come you never been to prison before? If you always going to sin, then how you able to control not breaking the law? If we always going to sin, then how you control not getting arrested? How you control not smoking crack? How you control not becoming a prostitute? How you control not becoming a stripper? How you control that? If everybody's going to sin and you can't stop sinning, right? Then why haven't you committed other sins other folks have committed and their life is thrown away? Explain it. They can't. Because they just teach you that. It's all built off of delusion and lies. It's not even meant to be challenged. Because it won't be able to stand. It's like built out of, fragile glass, man. You know? One little pebble or stone, that grass is clacked. You got that expensive car, and once a little rock on the interstate hit it, that whole window cracked. Or a little crack happened and started spreading. That's what false Christianity is. It's a glass house. It's not designed to stand the test of time. It don't make any sense. We're always going to sin. Well, how come you haven't committed those sins? Oh, I don't want to do those. You just told on yourself. I just asked you, how come you ain't robbed this person? Why you ain't raped this woman? Why you ain't molest these kids? Because those are all sins that we see in the world. How come you ain't done those things? Oh, I ain't molesting no woman. I ain't raping no kids. I ain't do none of that. I ain't robbing nobody. How? How are you able to say no then? Because I don't want to do that. Because you want to do the other stuff, right? Yes. There you go. See, we're going to get around that pride, that delusion. See, that pride going to tell you, oh, we're always going to sin. Okay. I just proved to you that you doing it because you choose to do it. Ain't nothing is making you do it. Because if something was making you do it, then you would do the same thing that everybody else is doing right now. If I ask you, why have you never molested a child, raped a woman, stole from somebody, killed somebody, did whatever. If I ask you that question and you say, because I didn't want to do that, so why do you do this? Well, we always going to fall short. Listen, man, I'm not trying to hear about no fall. Well, fall short and go rob somebody then. I'm not going to jail for that. There you go. So you can choose. You can say no. You find pleasure in sin. That's the reality. People are crazy, man. I'm telling you. They don't want to embrace the reality. That's the reality. You see? And nobody want to hear these messages, man. Because it's too real. That's why nobody really want to know about God. That's why, see, people are scared of sharks because you was taught as a child. Sharks are dangerous. You seen the movie Jaws. People are scared of swimming pools. I remember I seen that movie Jaws. And I was scared. I was scared of water. Cause I'm like, even when I was swimming in pools, as a little kid, I'm thinking like it'll be a shark in there. In the pool now. That's how much I was terrified about Jaws. Why we don't feel that way towards God? Because the false Christians have always painted God. And them folks that's in hell right now that brought all this false Christianity, all them pastors that done died and women that done died and men that died and claim to be Christians, they in hell right now wishing to come back. Like Lazarus and the rich man. They wishing to come and tell you, hey, my family members, hey, my children, don't do it. But they can't. It's over. People think of God making this stuff, he playing around. This stuff is real. Who do you think made the world? Okay? They wishing to come back and tell you, hey, it's real. So we trying to tell you. I'm telling you, they taught you lies. That's why you don't fear God. You think God like, oh, I'm going to get myself right when I want. Okay. All right. You play around with him if you want to. Play around. You done seen babies die. Children die. Ain't no explanation given. You can get mad at God. You can curse you to the sky. He ain't going to tell you why it happened. I'm telling you. You all right? You play with him. That's what I'm telling people. See, God is already pouring out his wrath. People just think like that's just how life is. That ain't just how life is. That's why we ain't going through that as Christians. You don't see me going through none of that stuff. You call my phone every day, I answer. Every time I get on this phone, you don't never see me sick. You don't never see nothing going on. I done been in the cold. I done been in the rain. I done been all different type of places. Hot. You don't never see anything happen to me. It's the same every day. Okay? People walk around and be asking me, how old am I? Tell me I'm in my 20s. I'm like, no, I'm 35 years old. Because God preserve you. Okay? He take care of you. Because he made this body. He made this skin. He made your teeth. He made everything. So he can keep all this stuff. I don't got to go to no dentist. None of that type of stuff. Okay? You got cavities, you go to the dentist. Because you got cavities, right? You do what you need to do and take care of yourself. God do the rest. Okay? So that's all I'm trying to say. So the world has taught you that God is like this. You could do whatever you want. Live for God whenever you want. Okay. You hear me just keep saying okay. They lied to you. God is a God of vengeance. It's a God of wrath. He told you. Paul said it in Romans that they worthy of death who do such things. That's coming from God. He said the wage of sin is death. You see why so many folks be dying, man. Actors going crazy, walking around the streets naked. I'm telling you, they keep on playing. God is real. The world just accepts it because they ain't got no faith. It's so many people in the world that it's hard to really just see all the bad that's going on because it's such a big world. You got 8 billion people, and it's so normal and so common because we live in a world that's not a believing world. So it's stuff that does happen, like when we look at COVID, nobody is really afraid of that because it came and it went. I mean, it's still floating around, but I'm just saying, like, people believe what they want. They call it a virus. As long as you say virus, not the devil, and not no demons, they gonna believe whatever. Okay? You show them Revelations. The Bible says Revelations that they're gonna see these things and still not repent. The Revelation tells you that. In the book of Revelations, it tells you. Right? Some gonna be sick unto death and not die. A lot of folks got better. And they still affected by it. Okay, let's move on. It's getting late. False Christians are worldly. Just spend time around them. All the different ministries, church services are just designed to strengthen their delusion and make them feel that they are different. Many people do Many people do it, and they're just only taught how to portray themselves and how to look, dress, etc. But it stops there. They're no different than people who don't claim to be Christians. So what we mean there is this. When you see the false Christians, right, and you spend time around them, they're worldly. They try to act like they have restraint. But a lot of them, they don't really have restraint. Like, okay, let me give you a secret. Say somebody got a YouTube channel, okay? And they claim to be a Christian. And they do construction. But they document it and they put it on YouTube. That's their channel, right? So, you know, they won't cuss, right? But they'll talk about being frustrated all the time. They'll talk about how someone did something stupid on the job. Listen to me. I'm not making this up. Y'all can think whatever you want to think. I'm just not saying no names. Okay? It's a time and place for everything. But listen to me. The guy claimed to be a Christian. Got a construction company. Do construction work, right? So he records everything. His co-workers, people that he employed. He's the boss. He'll say that they were stupid what they did. He'll say he's angry. He hates certain days of the week. Now these people are so far in this religious cult that the kids wear dresses. Like the women gotta wear skirts. Like they can't wear pants. So I don't know what type of denomination they are. They're Caucasian, so I don't know what kind of denomination they are. But the women gotta wear skirts. So you might can Google that. I don't know. You know, I didn't do no research on it. But I know that they gotta wear skirts. And he always talks about church and talks about Jesus. But listen to me though. He's the boss of his company. The man always says he hates certain days of the week. So I hate these days. I hate this day. Okay? I hate Mondays. Right? And he bought himself a Mustang, like a supercharged one. Okay? He says he got a slogan that he says, right? That's worldly. He gets angry. He's worldly. He does worldly stuff. And one video that I seen that God showed me, it was this guy there, and he was telling the guy how to do a certain thing with a tool. And one of his coworkers, they always cracking jokes as well too. So they're always gesturing, you know, joking and stuff. So one of his coworkers, one of the people that works for him, he told the guy to do something with a tool, and the guy didn't really know how to do it. So he looks at the other young guy that he got working for him, and they make faces back and forth. Okay? Now, why not just be like, this guy's stupid. He don't know what he's doing. Oh, that's silly what he just did. Why they didn't say that? Because they want to portray themselves as seeming like they're righteous and religious people. Think about it. The camera shows him looking at the person, and they're both like what is, no brainer, like that. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you, Jeremy. You'll probably see it at your job too. Same thing. I'm telling you. If you just sit back and watch the false Christians, they're taught by these pastors, these false pastors. That's what, Jeremy, so you know I'm not making this up, brother. I don't get up here and tell no lies. That's right, brother. You confirmed it. Listen to what I'm saying to you though. That's what I'm saying to y'all. If you sit back and you watch them, they just been taught how to discipline the flesh according to what they feel. They're still sinners though. They're just doing it in it's a way that if people don't know God's word, you know, I'm talking about truly know it. They claim to have lived they claim to live in their heart. This is what I'm saying. If people don't know God's word, they will think that they're different because they're not as open to gossip out loud or yell at loud, but they still do it though. See, this is the point I'm trying to make. Unless you have that spirit, you can never go without being angry. You can never go without being, so it don't matter how much it's suppressed. No matter how much they're trying to portray, you're going to still see that personality. I'm telling you. Y'all don't hear me. Listen what I'm saying to you. Without that Holy Ghost, you're going to see pride. You're going to see anger. All I'm saying, spend time around them. You're going to see them talk about things. They're going to glorify themselves. It's going to come out. The only thing that's restraining them to some extent is because of how they're taught to behave and how they're taught to act. I'm telling you, you're going to still see it. They're going to curse sometime. They're going to get angry. They're going to do also the rest of the world do. They're only going to try to cover it up and hide it. I'm telling you, because of how they're trying to portray themselves. But see, the rest of the world does the same thing too, though. The rest of the world gets angry, but they don't just be happy that they got angry, but they got angry for reasons, though. Okay, so what I'm saying is they're just like the rest of the world. Just like the guy I'm telling you about. He'll look at the little guy. He was like, that was stupid. Use your head. Like he'll say something like that. But then the next 15 minutes into the video, he's like, yeah, I'm just blessed. I thank God so much for what he done. Like, it don't even go together. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. He's like, oh, I just spent $8,000 on getting this car supercharged. Like, for what? That's worldly. But you can't even drive fast on the road. So what's the point of driving? He ain't going to no drag strip. And if he did, that's still worldly. Okay? So he got a car that he's going to drive fast. And when he first bought the little Mustang, he was burning tires and burning rubber on the street. That's reckless driving. But you saying that you see, I'm telling you why folks don't want to come to Christianity. Because they look at them like they crazy. Everybody not deceived by this false stuff, man. They not. Them folks be mean. Because they playing. I'm telling you, when you playing and you got so much pressure and you really just can't be the way you want to because you're trying to portray being differently, that brings out a different type of animal in a person, man. A different beast. I'm telling you. It does, because there's so much pressure on you. You can't just be yourself. See, people that's in the world who ain't claiming God, they could be, so they could curse, they could drink, they could do it. The one that's a false Christian, I drink wine sometime. I drink a little bit. Even the Lord drunk wine. You see what I'm saying? It's too much pressure on them. Jeremy said, you expect it from people who don't claim to be Christians. But it's so weird when false Christians because they're trying to portray it. So it's back and forth all day, back and forth. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because they have a reputation. That's the difference. That's why they be so mean. If you really get to a conversation with them, like, man, ask Sarah, man. Ask Sarah. Ask Sarah. She could tell you firsthand. Ask Sarah what life is like around people that she know that claim to be Christians. Ask her what it's like. Ask her what she done seen. Okay? And we'll just leave it there. Well, I ain't gonna put it out there. Ask her what she done seen. She ain't gotta name no names, but she could just say what she done seen around people that claim to be Christians. I'm telling you. That's the rest of the world. I'm telling you. But that's why whenever you start talking about what they don't believe in, folks compare all the time with me and be opposite of, that's not even biblical. You'll give them Bible and they'll be ready to rip your head off. I'm telling you. You be like, hey, the rapture is not in the Bible. Oh, you part of a cult. I don't know what's wrong with you. That's the devil telling you that. Like, they go crazy. And what you're saying is biblical. The rapture's not in the Bible. The word is not there. Like, yo, you're brainwashed. Listen to that Ronald Calling guy. You're brainwashed. You know, look what Sarah just told you. You heard what I just said. Cussing and violence. She ain't got to tell you who it is. It don't matter. We telling you that it's true. What kind of Christians are they? What kind of Christian does that? What kind of Christian Jeremy around? What kind of Christian Sarah around? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't want to listen to me. I'm telling you, they worldly. That's why I made this video. I'm telling you the guy that's on YouTube, man. I ain't going to tell you his name. It don't matter. I ain't got to lie. There's no reason to lie. Okay? I'm going to heaven. I don't got to tell no lies. This is for y'all. Okay? Listen what I'm saying to you. They are worldly, man. They just hiding behind a reputation. That's why it comes out. And they be like, yeah, you know, no one is perfect. Okay, y'all always say that when you do wrong. Okay? Why can't you just be mad today? Why can't you just want to be angry? Why can't you just want to gossip and joke on somebody? I got to stop this gossiping. Why you got to stop it? Why haven't you stopped it? Because you find pleasure. Why do people gossip quietly? Or they do it but where nobody else can hear them? Because they know it's wrong. Why do bank robbers wear masks? Why do folks cheat behind people's back and not let them know? Because they know it's wrong. Y'all tell me that same nation not in people who live in falsely for God? Come on, man. They know it's wrong. They hiding behind it. Justification. We always going to sin. Oh, yeah? Okay. You can name 100 things they haven't done. Or they used to do and they don't do no more. Like, hey, you always sin, right? Yeah, yep, that's right. We're always going to sin. How old are you? Oh, I'm 39. Oh, okay. You still sleep around? Nah, I've been married, brother, about 15 years now. Oh, okay. You still race your car like you did when you was 20? Nah, I don't do that no more. Oh, okay. You still drink liquor and smoke weed? Nah, I don't do that no more. I'm done with that. Oh. So those are a few things that you don't do because you don't find pleasure in it. It's all the same. Same shows, movies. Sarah said it's all the same. Same shows, movies, entertainment of the world like it's normal, just as long as you mention God and thank him. She's telling you personally what she's experiencing. She's telling you personally what she's experiencing. She's not making this up. Neither is Jeremy. I know both of them, so y'all might don't understand. Y'all can read the caption and not understand what Sarah and Jeremy are saying, but I know where they're around and I know who they're around. You understand? So I know what's going on. So they telling you, these people claim to be Christians in church on Sundays. You know, they participate in many different things in the churches, and she done seen them say things, but it's all of them. They just hide behind God. They hide behind their false God that they created, not the God that I serve. That's why they don't obey the Bible. The Bible is never, ever being applied in their life. It's not. They just read it. It's like, that's why they got that daily bread. One verse that pops up for the whole day. They don't obey it. So every day you just see them. They just living their regular lives. Some people don't find pleasure. See, y'all think that they really Christians because of they're not doing what you feel people that do real bad things. But what about sarcasm? What about jokes? What about being mean? What about saying bad things? Because that's who they already are, Jeremy. Remember they hide behind it. I did teaching like that before, Jeremy. Remember? Jeremy said the worst part is when you show them the truth. He's talking about the Bible. They turn on you like these nice people turn into monsters. That's what I'm telling you. Because they hiding behind. That's who they really are. Remember the Bible. Let me tell you something. That's what I told y'all before. The Bible, for false Christians, create a different identity for them. That's what the Bible does. The Bible creates an identity that people don't have. Because they know that righteousness is more likable than unrighteousness. Everybody knows that. Okay? Everybody wants to be the cool guy, the cool girl, you know. The prom queen, the prom king, like likable people. You know, they don't vote for people that they don't like. The prom queen and the prom king, why do they become? You know, the team captain, why they become team captain? Because they're likable people. You're not seeing nobody become no team captain or become no prom king and prom queen that people don't like or people despise or they look at them in a bad light. It's people that's popular, people that people like and gravitate to, got that warm and fuzzy feeling around them. That's who they vote for. Them valedictorians, that's who they vote for. So think about the president. You vote for the one who's talking the best, who's promising, you know, the best for our country. I don't vote. I never did, never will. Okay? The Bible saying in Chronicles that God will heal our land. That's who can make the change, not man. No man has ever done it but Jesus, okay? But listen, all I'm trying to say to you is this, is that at the end of the day, these people are wicked people because they took something they don't believe in and they fabricating what they're doing, and they're not obeying the strength of what the Bible truly says to do. They're not trustworthy people. They're not stable. They're wicked. That's why they behave the way they behave. And when you start talking about, that's why they be out there in them corners. Somebody, you're gonna die and go to hell. What did folks ever? Where did the people like that preach? These street preachers. You see? Where did these street preachers get what they're getting from? Where they walk around with these big old signs? They got pictures of flames. Why they all look the same? You know, it's the same spirit. They go around. They got the megaphones. You guys are gonna die and go to hell. You know, like who taught them to do that? They didn't preach like that. That's not even listen. Y'all never even heard true preaching until you met someone that has the Holy Spirit. What you see today is what they think is preaching. They never was around Paul and Peter and them, and they don't got the Holy Spirit. So they're not even, that's not like, y'all think that's preaching. When you turn on TBN, that's not preaching. Them folks is rocking you to sleep, man, like a baby. Little baby, don't you cry. Papa gonna get you some apple pie. Like that's all it is. They rocking you to sleep, man. That's it. Tricking you. All that torment you going through. Them happy-go-lucky messages. Oh, yeah. The Lord's going to do it. He's an on-time God. That Goliath, you're going to beat that Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Motivational speakers. Okay, let's move on. It's getting late. Okay? Titus 1:15. Unto the pure, all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Even their mind and conscience defiled. They profess that they know God, but deny him in works. See that? No faith. Being abominable, disobedient unto every good work, reprobate. You see? Now look, they think John is crazy, right? They think John is crazy. First, I'm talking about John, the Apostle John. You look at 1 John. Okay? They think John is crazy. They can read things that they feel is contradiction, and it makes sense. That doesn't even make sense, right? What I wrote, the way they think, don't even make any sense. So what I'm saying is, when they read 1 John, they're thinking that John is saying whoever say he has no sin, 1 John 1:8. They're thinking when John is saying whoever has no sin, if a man say he have no sin, right, he deceive himself. Okay? Then they thinking that when he's saying 1 John chapter 2, he's saying not to continue in sin. And he's saying if anyone does sin, he has an advocate. Saying like, so this is how they believe in it. 1 John 1:8, he's saying that everybody sins. Okay? 1 John chapter 2, they're saying if you do sin, Jesus Christ is the advocate for you if you do sin. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? Because the Bible said we sin willfully to remember sacrifice for sin, so that wouldn't make any sense. So anyway, they don't cross-reference the Bible. But anyway, chapter 3 says you're a child of the devil. They don't even let that register. They think he's talking about the Pharisees and Sadducees are like, you know, it don't even come in. Anything past those two chapters, they don't even they're like their vision goes out every time. They get to 1 John 3, 4 and 5, their vision go out. It come back in 1 John 1 and 2. Because the only reason why, because those verses are misinterpreted and the devil strengthened that misinterpretation in those people. That's the only reason. Think about it. They don't even reason the reality. They think it's a contradiction. They think it. They reading it. They think John went crazy. That's why they embrace John. They embrace craziness. Oh, John is saying if we say we don't sin, then John said if we do sin, we got an advocate. Okay. Then if they happen to go to 1 John 3, they're gonna say, oh, no, child of the devil is They're talking about people that practice in sin, continue in sin. It don't even say practice or continuing in sin. It say sin not. You see what I'm saying? They crazy. They think people in the Bible are crazy, man. I'm telling you. They reading it, they thinking John, like, yeah, John is saying that if we got sin, and then John said we don't sin. Like the way they believe in it, they think John is crazy. Okay? They crazy for thinking that way. Look at our nation. People hide behind religions. I would say regions. I gotta fix that. People hide behind that auto typing thing be messing up. Look at nations. People hide behind religions. Evil everywhere. Your conscience, right? So I know what I was writing, right? I got to add some more words. So basically what I'm saying is you look at every nation, people hide behind false religions because of their conscience. Everybody wants to portray themselves as there's a rapper that goes around. He became a Muslim and now he's like part like this. It's like this Indian tribe thing, like wearing feathers. Okay. Everybody conscience convicts them of what is right And what is wrong? You know. Okay. So, let me just move on. Okay, so he's you know, he became part of something, some Indian tribe thing, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that it's his conscience that gravitated him to want to be a part of something, to make himself look different. Like a lot of rappers, African American rappers, they'll have ties to Islam. They'll still sell drugs. They rap about murders and violence because it's all designed to portray them differently, just whatever they want. Okay, some people conscience are stronger than others. Some face more conviction, and the ones who face more conviction, who don't want to change, they become extremists, but they still be sinners. Even if it's whatever they claiming, they be extreme with it. They'll be crazy about it. They almost be violent about it. You know, they be real judgmental. You know, they be delusional, and they be strong sinners. You know, look at the group today, the Hebrew Israelites. I done had them curse at me, and like I'm talking about like curse, and they'll talk about the Sabbath and all this stuff. Like it's just delusion because of that conscience. So you look around our world, Muslims, they pray like 10 times a day. The women dress up in those gowns, but they still shop. They still, you know, fornicate. They still lie. They still commit adultery. You know, they still want to wear all the latest and the greatest. The driving luxury cars. No, every false religion, it's the same. Tell me, they all sin. False Christians, Muslims, Buddha, Hindu, they all sin. They all are alike, but they all believe in some false god to portray themselves as being something that they not for their conscience sake. See? Look around you. You look around all these different celebrities. A lot of them have ties to religions. False religions. Look around, look at all these rappers and singers. Many of them have ties to religions, cults, witchcraft, whatever. Look around a lot of these politicians, presidents, right? Presidents, ex-presidents. Some of these people have okayed laws to marry homosexuals. Ask them what their religion is. Some gonna say Christianity. You know God speaks against that. He ain't gonna make no law for that to be. You see? Because they believe in a false Christianity. They believe in a false God. Every false religion sins. Muslims sin. Buddhism sin. Hindu sin. Scientology sin. False Christian sin. Every one of those religious groups live in sin. Besides true Christians. But the false ones, they all sin. They hide behind it because they want to portray themselves as being what they're not because of their conscience that they get convicted by. Right? So they want to portray 7 times a day praying, but still be lusting, smoking cigarettes, drinking, watching violent movies. The Muslims, Buddhists, the Hindu, all of them. You got all these karate movie people. A lot of them Buddhism. They kicking people. They acting. You know, they in all different type of stuff. Fighting in their movies. And the Indian people, Hindu. They got, you know, Bollywood, whatever they call that. You know, they're all their movies. You'll see sex, fornication, all type of stuff. The same thing you see over here. You see it in every culture. Sin is in every culture. And they all believe in some false god. You see? Because of the conscience. Because the Bible came first. Okay? They're not crazy to say that the Bible says and it didn't. Anyone else would be called crazy. So this is what I'm writing right here. They're walking around paying tithes and offerings. And they never seen somebody do that as a Christian, but they're not called crazy today. You got pastors claiming to be pastors over churches. They can't show that in scripture, but they're not crazy. You got women preaching and saying it's okay to preach where it says that they can't preach multiple times. Okay? But that's not crazy. You got folks that are naming their churches whatever they want. But that's not crazy. And they can't find it in the Bible. You got folk, the church is named already. And they're naming it what they want. Folks saying they got ministries, which is not biblical. There's no such thing as having your own ministry. There's no such thing as a church being called such and such ministries. That's not biblical. They're crazy. Unstable, as the Bible say, which means crazy. They're delusional, which means crazy. Okay? Now, could we be seeing what the Bible said to Thessalonians? That God will give them a strong delusion because they believe the lie and had pleasure and righteousness? Think about it. What did Jeremy just say? Jeremy just said, whenever you tell these folks about God's word, they get mean, angry, and they don't be nice. Well, only a delusional person who sees the same words they're supposed to be living and abiding by will get mad at when they see them or get affected when they're being held accountable for their actions. Only a delusional, unstable person. So, remember, God said in Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, that he'll give them a strong delusion because they believe the lie and pleasant righteousness and didn't believe the truth to make them delusional. Why else do these Christians get mad when they hear God's word? Why else are these Christians not obeying what the Bible said do will make you be a Christian? Why else do these Christians be doing the opposite will make them look like Christians? Why else do these Christians be looking more like the world than like the Bible if they're not delusional? Come on now. Why would these Christians be doing what the Bible say not to do? Why do these Christians say you can't be perfect? Why do these Christians say that everybody's going to sin? Why do these Christians say that, no one is righteous? Why does these Christians, these so-called Christians, say all this stuff that the Bible don't say? Where are they getting it from? They're delusional. Think about it. They're going to always live in sin, but they don't do 1,000 sins because they don't find pleasure in it. But the sins they do find pleasure in it, they don't want to say that they do find pleasure because of pride and delusion. You see? Think about it. But they're not crazy though. You got a pastor up there telling you all about the Bible, misinterpreting it, making up his own stuff, and he's not crazy. You walk into a whole church that look like a Catholic church, look like a synagogue that's here today in different cultures, look like the Muslim place where they go and worship, but it's not crazy. They wearing suits like the rest of the world, but that's not crazy. Women wearing dresses. You got women that's in these churches wearing weave and makeup and nails. Okay? Wearing tight dresses to church on Sunday. But that's not crazy. They walking around want to act like, look, they get mad at me for saying you got to be righteous and you got to be perfect. But wouldn't it make more sense to be like this than to be like you are and still be claiming that you're different than people? What could the unbelievers say about me? But they could say much about you. They could say, you're a hypocrite. You trying to tell me get my life together. You ain't got yours together. I'm sitting here telling you to be righteous, be holy, be perfect. God can do it if you have the Holy Spirit. You're trying to tell folks to come to God, to be the same way you are, but psychologically believe that you're different. That is insanity. That's a waste of their time. They might as well keep on searching to find the real Jesus because you ain't got him and you ain't living for him. I'm telling them people that they could be righteously holy because they do it today anyway. I asked the guy, I said, you ever put anything in your gas tank but gas before? He like, no. I said, how long you been driving? For a long time. You ever made a mistake and put your water hose in your gas tank? He like, no. So you got a perfect track record, huh? Perfect track record? He like, yeah. You ever not brush your teeth in the morning? Nah. You ever did number 2 and wipe your butt? Nah. You ever went without drinking water? Nah. So you got a perfect track record doing these things, but you can't be perfect. Come on, y'all hiding behind that you find pleasure in the sin. That's all it is. You know that it's wrong. That's facts. Come on, that's what them false Christians taught you that. Never, accept the truth. Always lie and justify it because they seen people do it before them. They seen their parents do it. They was raised to do it. They lied. When they got caught sneaking out the house, oh, mom, I want to go hang with so-and-so. They didn't come out and be like, hey, you know what? I want to go have sex, mom. It was always a lie first until they got more interrogated, then the truth comes out. See that? The same way. So it's in their nature. They grow up thinking that way. They grow up acting that way. They grow up being deceiving, manipulative, you know, seducing. They grow up being that way. This ain't Christianity that we see today. They do what they want. They dress like the rest of the world, talk to the rest of the world. They build their buildings the same way other religions do. You know, it's only one God, one Lord, one Spirit. Why do y'all look like the rest of the world? Why do you copy their building designs? Why do you dress like corporate America? Why do women come in there with wigs on and weave and makeup just like the rest of the world that's in clubs? They look the same as those other people. But they want you to believe that they're different. But they confess openly they live in sin. So if God can't help you, then why would I come? Because he's not going to help me. They can't trace back their roots of Christianity. Catholics, none of them. The denominations, they can't trace it back because they made it up. You see? People claim to be Christian and they're not. All I'm saying is this. You look at what the false Christians teach today and what they believe in, it doesn't make any sense. And if you sign up for that, right, it's the blind leading the blind. Y'all going to fall into a pit. It's like crabs in a bucket. Okay? It's no point. If the false believer, the unbeliever will look at it and say, what's the point of coming to whatever you're trying to tell me about this Jesus and this God who they made up, the false version of him, right? Of the Father and the Lord. Okay? You're telling me that I need to come believe in this religion, but I'm going to still go through attacks from demons. I'm going to still get sick. I'm going to still have bad days and down days and all this stuff. You want me to believe in this God who can't help us, who can't deliver us. He got to work through doctors and work through medicine. I got to look on the internet for people doing videos of 3 ways to overcome anxiety. Like, what's the point? When I think of God, I think of power. So why can't God, you know, he made us, you know, why leave that part broken? Why not fix that, mend that? Jesus healed a man with a withered hand. Jesus gave a man good eyesight. Jesus gave a man that was blind eyesight, gave a man with paralyzed legs. What if those things were being done, being spoken, it was servants that was lying sick, dead. The Lord spoke forth the word. They was revived. People was coming out of tombs from the dead. People was having funerals and the Lord just touched the casket. Man sat up. Little girl's Jairus' daughter, right, died. Jesus come and pray. Like, all these things happen that was just spoken by words or just touches. Peter mother-in-law had a fever. The Lord touched her hand. The fever left her. She got up and started cooking and ministering to them. Come on. So, like, how are they selling with, oh, I'm going to just ask, I'm going to trust the Lord. 3 years go by. You still got some cancer. You see, delusion is real because they taught them that. If they would have taught what I'm teaching through God's word, it would not be 2 billion on Google today. It'd probably be about 200. I'm telling you, in the whole world. It's only 2 billion because they lied. And the world is superstitious because of their conscience. And the world loves sin. So they built this false religion that everybody signed up for. And now they're suffering for it because they're mocking God. I'm telling you. And they built this false preaching design supposed to encourage you through your punishment that God has given you. They don't think it's punishment, though. They think it's just coming from whatever. But they're mocking God. So they design these false preachers to get up there and tell you whatever will get you through to next Sunday. God going to bless you. It might seem like you're going through a storm, like Peter walking on water. But the sky going to clear up. The Lord going to speak to your situation. Y'all got to speak to your problem right now. Speak to it and say, storm, be quiet. Storm, be still. Peace, be still. Look to your left. Say it. Peace be still. Look to your right. Peace be still. Stand up. Tell your neighbor. Peace be still. Okay? That stuff is foolishness. Love you all. God bless.